Hello everyone. Uh, Welcome to my channel, Product Knowledge. My name's Lefson Piri, or you can call me Courageous. Today we are going to look under business communication, which is introduction to communication. So that's a BBA, business communication. So today we'll do unit 1, which is introduction to communication. Thus, we are going to look on today. So our learning outcomes, by the end of this topic, you should be able to, 1, understand the meaning and concept of communication. 2, identify the many elements in the communication process. And then 3, lastly, we are going to differentiate between oral communication as well as written communications. That's what we are going to look on today. So, the meaning and concept of communication. What is communication? When we say communication, what do we simply means? So, by the definition, 1, we can say communication is the process of transforming information, ideas, or feelings. 2, it is a two-way process requiring both sending and receiving information. 3, so we can talk about the verbal, which is oral or written, and non-verbal, which is gesture or body language. Okay, so for like under the purpose aspect, we can say to form, pursue, influence, and build relationship. So what are we trying to say about this definition? So we are just trying to say that communication is just the way you communicate to your fellow colleagues. Okay, this is what we do every day. When you want to talk to your friends, when you want to talk to your lecturers, when you want to talk to anyone, your mom, your dad, that's what we are simply means. That's what we are saying about communication. So communication is just a process of transmitting information or ideas or feelings from one person to another. That's a communication. Like what I'm doing to you, I'm communicating to you. Okay, I'm talking to you, but I'm using tutorial form. So this is the way of communication. Okay, that's what we are saying. So this is what we do daily basis when we say communication. So you're just communicating direct. It can be in a verbal form, but under the types of communication, we look into that in unit 2. But I'm just trying to give an example here, so you can put it into formal, which is verbal communication, which is oral and written, also non-verbal, which is using gestures, okay, and body language, your facial expression, all those things. That's what we are saying. So many elements in the communication process. What are the many elements? What makes up communication to be a success? That's what we're saying. What are the many elements of communication? So 1, you're supposed to have the sender who initiate the message. Okay. So like when you want to talk to your friend, you are the sender because you are initiating that process. You want to send something, you want to communicate to that person of what you want. Then 2, we have message. When you think of, I want to communicate to my fellow friends or to my fellow colleagues, you have to come up with a message. What kind of a message are you trying to say? What kind of information are you delivering to your colleagues? That's a message. So it's just the idea or information. What kind of information are you sending? Then encoding, putting the message into words or symbols. So you are just trying to analyze your information. What kind of a message are you going to transform to those people? Is it in a symbols, or is it in words written like a letter? That's what we are saying about encoding. You as a sender are supposed to encode. Encoding means you're just looking all the possible means of how we are going to put your message so that your where it's going, they'll be able to understand and also give you feedback in return. Okay. Then we have a channel. A channel is just simply means which channel are you going to use? Are you going to use an email to send that message to your friends, or are you going to use a phone call? Are you going to use a speech? Are you going to, it's just the way of how we are going to communicate. Which route are you going to use? It's just more like me, I want to go and buy phone in town. I've initiated myself. That's a send. I've initiated myself that I want to go and buy. What am I going to buy? A phone. Okay. Which channel am I going to use? Which route am I going to use? It's either I can use by foot, by walking. It's either I can use by bus. It's either I can use by Yango private vehicle. That's what we are saying about a channel. What kind of a channel are you going to transmit that message to your friends so that they'll be able to understand? Then when you have selected the channel, you're going to have a receiver now receiving that message. When a receiver receives the message, remember we have talked about encoding. Make sure you have to know the person, you have to know the people you are directing the message to. You can use something which they won't able to understand. So remember, communication is a one-way, two process. A receiver and a sender and the receiver, they are supposed to communicate. Okay, and they're supposed to understand both each other. By doing what? By giving feedback to each other. That's the communication. So a communication process can't take place minus a sender and a receiver giving feedback each other. Then a sender to receiver, this is what we are saying. In between, we are supposed to have a message, and that message is supposed to be encoded so that a receiver can able to understand. Okay, so a receiver, who is a receiver? So it's the person who gets the message. Okay, like I've received a text message from Airtel. I'm trying to read what is here. I've able to understand of I've received a message from my friend. What this person is trying to say. So if I read, if I have understood, how am I going to understood? By decoding. I'm going to decode, okay, that message. It just simply means interpretation of the message. I'm going to analyze, okay, my friend have sent a message to me, what he or she trying to tell me. By doing that, you are decoding the message, you are interpreting your message so that you may be able to understand and give feedback to your friend or your colleague or your lecturer. So point number 7, feedback. After you have done decoding, you now give feedback. You give feedback. Then we are saying that communication process, it has taken place successfully. Then I have deliberately added noise and barriers. So those we have a lesson, barriers of communication, but I have just put it deliberately so that you may be able to know that during your communication process, you have barriers involved. What do we simply mean? Noise or barriers? We are just saying that obstacles to communication. Okay, those are just obstacles to communication. You are trying to send an email, the network failure. Okay, the network fails. Instead of the message reaching to your friend at 12 hours, it reaches 13 hours. Earlier it was an it was a agent message information. You were communicating to your friend. You have sent someone in town to go and buy you a dress or a trousers, a black one. Then suddenly you have changed the color. So you are trying to communicate to that person so that he may be able or she may be able to exchange the color to get a white one or maybe a gray one. Then a network failure, the message reaches that person after buying that thing and he's on his way or she's on his way coming back. Okay, those are the barriers which we are saying. Okay, you are trying to have a lecture, okay, but nearby there's a noise happening. They are beating drums, like those people who are doing culture, they're beating drums. Then you as a student, you are not able to understand what the lecturer is saying because of noise. That's what we are saying about barriers. So remember, we have a full topic on barriers of communication, but today we are just specific on unit 1 under the introduction of communication. So we have the process of communication as shown in the diagram. So we have the sender there. Sender have an idea, okay? Sender has a message and that message has been what? Decoded, or sorry, encoded. The message is encoded so that the receiver may be able to understand. Then he has carried the message through phone, through message. A receiver decodes and the receiver understand the process. And after understanding the process, she has given the response to the sender. Okay, so feedback travels to the sender. And also possible addition feedback travels to a receiver. So it's just a channel process. It's just moving like it's a circle. Then as you can see, there's a noise there, noise. So I was just trying to put it deliberately so that you may be able to understand that during communication process, we have barriers, okay, obstacles. So those are the barriers. But remember, we'll have a topic, full topic on barriers of communication. Oral versus written communication. What is oral communication? So oral communication, spoken words. In short, these are well summarized, able to understand where you are not understanding, but these are summarized notes. So oral communication, we are just saying spoken words, dialectly. Like what I'm doing here, I'm doing oral communication. I'm speaking to you direct. You are able to see me, oral communication. It can be in the meeting, it can be in the call, okay, or speech. When you're in a meeting, you are the chairperson and you are presenting, you are chairing the meeting. That's what we're saying, oral communication. You have a call. Call, when you call someone, that's oral communication because you are using your mouth, okay, to deliver the information to point B, from point A to point B. Also, we have speech. When you are delivering speech, you are a debate member, you want to deliver a speech to your colleagues, thus you are using oral communication. So oral communication is fast with immediate feedback, okay? When I'm in the meeting, then a question is asked from the audience. I'll be able to give immediate feedback because it's coming from me direct. So I'll be able to give feedback. I've said what I wanted to say. Then I said any questions, then someone asked a question, then I'm able to deliver the answer to him or her dialect. So that's what we're saying. It's fast with what? Immediate feedback. Feedback is given fast. So formal or informal. So under oral communication, you can deliver communication whether it's informal form or formal. Okay, it's direct. Then when we go to written, remember that written is just writing. Okay, written communication. These are written words. It can be either a letter, a report, or email. You are delivering information through writing words. That's what we're saying under written communication. So it's slow, permanent, recorded. This one, I can give an example. When you're in a meeting, there's a secretary writing the minutes. So those minutes, they'll write. Slow, they'll write those minutes. Questions, answers will be asked. Then those minutes again will be read in another meeting. And they will say matters arising. That's when they'll start now asking about those matters. Under matters arising, they'll start asking those things. So it's slow. Okay. I've received an email telling me that, okay, I'm supposed to submit my credentials. So me, I'll submit my credentials whenever I feel like, okay, they have said 12 hours, but okay, I'll even send 13 hours, and then I'll say there was a network failure. So it's slow. Generally formal and precise. That's the advantage part of written. Your information will be formal and precise. It will be accurate of what you are saying. It will be accurate. Okay. So by saying this marks end of our lecture for today under introduction of communication, unit 1. In unit 2, we are going to tackle different types of communication, also the barriers of communication. Mostly all those types, we are going to tackle them. So remember, we have talked about the communication process. So we have just stated that is the process of exchanging information, ideas, thoughts, or feelings, okay, between individuals or group through a shared system of symbols, signs, okay, or behavior. It is important part of a human interaction, because we practice this each and every day. Okay, so this is a key aspect in personal, social, and also as well as professional life, because when you communicate, that's when you'll be able to understand. Okay, it's just for interaction purposes. So when you look under the key features of what you have explained, so it's just the process of orientated, right? It's just to orientate. So communication is dynamic. It involves sending, receiving messages continuously. And also it is interactive. When you interact, it requires both sender and a receiver, okay, along with feedback. Me, I can't send a message and then someone stays quiet. Or how do you feel when you send a message to your hubby, or to your fiance, or to your husband, to your wives, how do you feel when you send a message, then someone is not giving you feedback? That's what you're saying. So it's supposed to be interactive. The sender and the receiver, they are supposed to interact and give feedback. Oh, okay. Also, it's symbolic. You can able to use words, gestures, signs, or visuals, okay, to convey meaning. Okay, you can able to use symbols. When you do this, you even know that, okay, this is good, okay, this is awesome, this is wow. You'll be able to do that. Also, purposive communications aims, okay, to inform, pursue, entertain. Also, you'll be able to express your feelings. That's what we are saying under communication. That's what I had for you. So before we end, we have those references. If you want to do more, you can go under those shared references to go and read more. But remember, these are summarized for those who want to summarize lecturers, tutorials. These are the notes for you. Okay. If you have anything to ask, to add on, drop in the comment sections so that we may be able to assist each other. Okay, remember to subscribe, like, and share. When you subscribe, you'll be receiving notifications of new tutorials video. Remember, in my first video I said that I'll be doing bachelor's of law, business administration, business communication, and sales and marketing courses. So feel free to ask me each question under those aspects. I'll be able to assist you and provide you with knowledge which you want. All right, guys, thank you so much. It was a great time having with you again to my channel. My name's Lefson Piri, and those are my contact. If you want to contact me direct, you can use those contacts and I'll be able to respond to you. Thank you. And before I end, please, guys, remember that support comes from you. So please like, subscribe, and share. All right, guys, see you in the next lesson. Thank you so much.